Hey lawyers, Google My Business practitioner listings. What are they? Are they good or bad? And how can you make them benefit you and your law firm? Hi, my name is Jordan Molesky and I'm the Director of Operations with Social Firestarter. So a Google My Business profile itself is the listing that comes up in Google when, say, someone is searching for a particular term. Might come up in the Map 3 pack, or if they're looking for you and your office specifically, it's going to come up on the right side, or come up right at the first thing that shows up on mobile, or the right side of the page if they're looking on the desktop. Now, there's something that's called a Google Practitioner listing. Google My Business Practitioner listing. Now, what this is a listing that, say, if you have multiple partners, multiple attorneys, in your law firm, and they want to essentially have their own Google My Business profile for themselves. Now, so there's pros and cons to this. The biggest con to this is that actually having multiple listings out there, while it's not against Google's guidelines to have a practitioner listing, a practitioner listing is really no different than a Google My Business profile itself. There's no way to differentiate it. There's no way to say, oh, this is to, check, hey, this is a practitioner listing over, hey, this is, our business listing. And for that reason, you're essentially diluting your Google My Business profile and your market advantage, because you're diluting your, that's probably not the right word for it. You're diluting your campaign and to try and get you higher up in the map ranks, because you're essentially competing against yourself. Now, sometimes this can work in your advantage, because if it's not too competitive of a market and you have both a practitioner listing and your Google My Business profile, your main business listing, maybe you come up as in the map pack for both of the listings. That could be a good thing. But for the most part, it's not a good thing to have both, especially if your law firm, say, does only one practice area. If you guys only do, just say, criminal defense, there's no need to have a practitioner listing out there. Just put all your eggs in one basket. Put all your marketing efforts into the one Google My Business listing, for your business as a whole, okay? Now, there are some pros, though, to this of having these type of listings. So, if you work for a big firm, or a firm with multiple partners, and just say, hypothetically, every partner has a different major practice area focus. We have a client right now that one partner does family law, one does personal injury, and one does employment law. So in this respect, what you can do is essentially have two of the partners set up practitioner listings, or even for that matter, all three, and the main listing, or one of the practitioner listings, you make that the most competitive, whatever the most competitive, you make that your primary GMB category. For this example, it would be personal injury. So personal injury should be what the main business GMB listing is, and all the marketing and all the SEO going towards the local GMB listing should go to that specific Google My Business listing. Now, for the family law attorney, he or she creates a Google My Business practitioner listing with the primary GMB category as family law attorney. Sets the website as the family law page, and then put all the SEO efforts for that listing towards family law, right? And then you have the employment law attorney do the same thing. So that's the pros, and that's one thing that you can do to then, essentially expand your reach, but be able to target, several different practice areas, all at once. Now, there, like I said, it's a toss-up, and there's definitely, There's definitely variables here, and you have to be strategic from an SEO standpoint, and that would be something that you'd want to talk with your marketing company, your in-house marketing people, anyone doing your SEO. But that is kind of the pros and cons, and essentially how you can make having multiple practitioner listings benefit yourself. But to recap, if you have one practice area, if all you do is criminal defense, there is no need for practitioner listings, especially if you're in a larger market. You're essentially just competing against yourself, and in reality, you're hurting yourself. Now, if you have multiple partners and you do multiple different practice areas, well, maybe there is a reason to essentially have practitioner listings and focus different marketing efforts for your different types of practice areas to these different practitioner listings of the attorneys that specifically do a specific practice area. Thanks.